Hey, hey, Ronnie. I know, I'm sorry, I'm really late. I should have done this last night. I'm not gonna lie, something came up and I got sidetracked on time, so that was totally my fault. So we're gonna do it now. I hope you guys don't mind. I kind of did want to do it at night though. I had a few things planned, but that's okay, because we're gonna make do, today, of course. Don't mind me, I used Megan's sound bowl. I actually don't have one singing bowl sound bowl. I call it sound bowl, she calls it a singing bowl. I used hers to clear the air. I've been doing some heavy cleaning. I kind of somehow got sick. I don't know really how, so excuse my voice if it goes in and out. I got my famous concoction of green tea with some lemon and a few other herbs to help. Yes, you have to warm them up. 1 minute, 100. Sorry about that. So we're gonna talk about this. So today we're gonna talk about dragon magic. Now, later on in the month, we're gonna talk about draconic magic, and you're gonna see the differences between the two because they are not the same. Now, you're gonna hear a lot when it comes to Wiccan, dragon, witches, that they're going to say that draconic is the same as dragon magic. That is incorrect. In my practice, it is completely polar opposite. Dragon magic is actually more of a right-hand path style magic, where it's more on the lighter side of things generally. And I say lighter as in you're looking for a higher understanding, a wisdom. It's not a personal gain, where draconic magic is a personal gain style of magic, okay? But dragon magic, you're helping people, you're helping yourself spiritually, you're helping yourself heal. It's not a self-centered type of magic, but it is at the same time. So let me go a little bit deeper on that. The easiest way that I would sit there and explain it is dragon magic is if I wanted to help you guys, if I wanted to work with, working on healing abilities with you, if I wanted to help you guys expand your practice, okay, I would call upon the dragons. If I want to find more confidence in myself, and I need a confidence style of boost, I'm gonna call on the dragons to aid me in this. If I'm looking to connect with my ancestors, if I'm looking to figure out past lives, if I'm looking to work in the astral realms, if I'm working more in the galaxy side of things, I'm gonna call on the dragons, okay? So dragon magic is where you're calling the dragons to aid you in your practice. They are assisting you. You are not commanding them. You are not summoning them. You are asking for their assistance. And that's why a lot of people sit there and say that dragons are co-magicians. And co-magician means an assistant, someone to aid you, someone to help you. Where there's a lot of other practices where you're actually like summoning a deity, summoning a demon, and by summoning them, you're utilizing them under a command. Okay, like you are in charge of them, where it's nothing like that when it comes to the dragons. It's completely opposite, okay? They actually really hate to be summoned, and I could guarantee that if they are summoned, they're not going to be very happy with you. So they'll do what you request because, they're under your control at the time, but the moment you release them back, I guarantee that you're going to have some issues with them come after that, because they don't like to be summoned. They are a very ancient being. They are an ancient type of, mythological creature. Some say they are the oldest. Some say they just came before, a lot of other mythological creatures. I agree. I believe them to be an ancient. I believe them to be even above a good chunk of deities, okay? Especially the higher ones, like, if you look at Norse, Loki's one son, who's a serpent, and I say he's a dragon, but some people say he's a serpent. Well, those two blend as it is, but we talked about that when we talked about dragons. but he came before. Tiamat's legend. If you look at Tiamat, she was definitely a higher being. She was the mother of the dragon. She was the first dragon. And from her became the mountains, came the sky, came the earth, came the river. You know what I mean? So from her body, everything, you know, even though her story is pretty brutal, but she was a brutal dragoness, but she bore, you know, half-breeds, which is a rarity when it comes to dragons, and she actually started all that. But, you know, one day maybe we'll do a live on her and, you know, detail her story. Or you can research her herself. I love Tiamat. She's an amazing, amazing dragoness. So yeah, definitely check into her if you can. Okay, so just remember, draconic, left-handed path, and draconic is based on, you know, what would be the easiest way? Left-handed path, mostly based on, oh, I'm having a brain fart because I'm trying to stay away from reading my notes because I don't want to sound like a lecture. Left-handed path, I'm sorry guys, is based on, you know, self, you know, perfection. It's, you know, kind of like a materialistic type of practice. You know, what can, you know, dragon energy do for me? What can it help me with? You know, maybe I can work on, you know, wealth spells and, you know, more of the, you know, personal gain is draconic, where dragon magic is aiding of and assisting, you know, having them help you, you know, find more confidence, help you, you know, with your healing. And don't get me wrong, you can use dragons and curses too. Like, don't think you can't, because you 100% can. I have multiple times. The thing you need to worry about though with curses is, one, which dragon are you utilizing or asking for assistance on curses? Because you don't want to look at, say, a light dragon or a platinum dragon to assist you with a curse, because that is against what they believe in. Because dragons are just like us. Okay, they all have their own personalities. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. And I talked a lot about this on the last live with dragon, you know, connecting with dragons. So remember that, okay? And if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go ahead and watch it before we finish on this one with you guys, because it'll explain a lot when we talk about the dragon magic here today. But know that they all have their own personalities. And because they all have their own personalities, they have their own strengths. Just like us as witches, as seekers, as vulvas, as brujas, spiritualists, you know, whatever title you go by, okay? If you even go by title. Some don't even go by title. They just say, I'm just a spiritual person. Which is totally understandable and acceptable. The dragons are just like that. You have ones that like to work in the shadows, like Leviathan. You have some that like to work in the chaos, like Tiamat. But then you have others that are like Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. She is a serpent, but she is a water dragon, technically. She just likes to kind of just stay complacent, come when she wants, utilize what, you know, how she wants. If you look at Loki's son, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because I'm still learning how to properly pronounce it, but I call him Georgie. But if you look at him, you know, he prefers to be within the sea, you know, and the one time Thor tried to pull him out of the sea, he caused massive storms, you know, and those massive storms became hurricanes and then became tsunamis and wiped out different lands until Thor released him back, where he then buried himself and rewrapped himself around the world under the ocean, under the sea. So again, he prefers to be kind of incognito, control things, but on the down low. Every dragon has their own wants. You have the lighter dragons. You have the healing dragons. You have the Merlin style of dragons, okay? You have every element dragon. Utilize that. If you're working with something that, you know, you could utilize a certain element for, call upon those style dragons. If you want to work with planetary magic, call upon the platinum dragons. Call upon the ones that work within that dimension of a a world, okay? Because there are dimensions when it comes to dragons. And I left that purposely out on the last live because I wanted to make sure that you understood this first before I moved into what a dimension is and how each dragon, certain type of dragons are part of each dimension. How our dimension affects the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension, the 6th dimension, 7th dimension, hello, right? So yeah, we're gonna work, oh, thanks, Ronnie. So we're gonna, you know, do that separately because dimensions is really hard. It's kind of like how Megan tries to explain like zodiacs on a like a certain level. It's the same thing. It's really hard. So let's see. So we already said that no matter what type of magic you practice, whether it's necromancy or healing, curses or blessings, you can always ask the dragons for help. Just make sure you're asking the correct style of dragons, okay? Just like us, you know, you're not going to ask me anything about, you know, kitchen magic because I don't know anything about kitchen magic, but I'm more than willing to help you if you want to look at warrior magic, strength magic, protection magic. I'm your girl, right? Because those are the things I definitely work within, but it's the same way. Also know that dragons are indeed alive. You might not be able to completely see them on the physical plane until they allow you to see them on the physical plane. But you would be surprised how many people actually see dragons without realizing that they're actually seeing it. Dragons come in all shapes and sizes. It's the same thing when you're working with them too. Sometimes, like the littler green dragons, which are the earthbound dragons, the smaller ones are actually the more passionate one versus the larger forest dragons, which are the ones that wrap around the trees. They're the ones that hide within. When you do those, you know, style magics, if you're working with the element of earth, definitely go outside with that. Go into the woods, go into the forest, work with it like that. But they are indeed alive, and you can physically see them if you work with trying to see them. If you have ill intentions towards anything, if you have an ulterior motive, dragon magic is not what you want. You don't want to do it. I promise you it's probably like, it's just as bad as trying to work with necromancy if you have the wrong type of intention, okay? If it's for a personal gain, this is not the magic you want. You might want to look more into draconic, but you might want to watch for draconic because it is a darker style magic, because it is mostly energy based, but you're utilizing dragon energy, but you're also utilizing a lot of the shadow magic as well, / chaos magic. That's why a lot of draconic magic involves Lilith, Lucifer, Leviathan, even Hecate, what's the spider goddess's name? Arachna? Her. Then you got Bilal. I mean, it goes into the darker arts. So that's why draconic magic is completely different, but you still utilize the dragons because it's all based on, okay, see, I'm jumping to the wrong magic. So let's stick with dragon magic. Right, and Gina says, ooh, hey Gina. Ronnie is right, don't play games. And Gina also says, yeah, necromancy, you gotta lay your intention clearly out before working. And it's the same thing with dragons. If you have any ulterior motive, if it's a personal gain, like, you know, say you really like this guy and, you know, he loves someone else, but you want him to love you. That's a personal gain. You don't want that. Yep, there it is. That's a personal gain. So you don't want to try and call upon the dragons because they have more important things to do than sit there and try and figure out your love life. Healing. I recommend them for healing 100%. I actually recommend the chaos dragons and the darker dragons for necromancy, just so you know. So yeah, it's just one of my personal faves. They have personalities, they have morals, they have a value of a value of honor, as well as compassion and positivity. So they do live by a code. I'm gonna get it for you. I have to ask them first if it's okay, but I've seen a lot of practitioners put their code out there. Some of it's correct, some of it's not correct. I'm gonna ask, no guarantees, but they do live by a code, okay? And the only thing I know for sure I can sit there and tell you about their code is that think of them like knights, okay? Like Knights of the Round Table. They have morals, you know. Now don't look at Lancelot because he doesn't count, but like look at how excuse, my voice is dying again. How they feel, you know, very passionate about helping others. You know, it's all about justice. It's all about seeking justice and making sure it's held true to true. So think of them living their highest value like that. They're all about wisdom, giving people wisdom, wanting them to see the wisdom. So don't sit there and, you know, think that, oh, you know, I could just say that I want to learn about the past and, you know, what I want to learn from their wisdom and all that. But in reality, you want to use their wisdom for power. And I don't mean power as in helping change the world. I mean help, like the power as in, oh, I'm gonna make myself amazing. I'm gonna be the best witch. People are gonna come to me, pay stupid money to get my spells. That's a personal game. You don't want that. That's gonna piss them off. And I promise you, you don't want to piss them off because they don't forget things. They're eternal, okay? Granted, yes, they do die in some forms, especially, you know, if they're the half-breeds, but still, you don't want to piss them off because they still have two higher beings. Just like, you know, think of it like a king and a queen. They have those. We're going to get into that a little bit here in a little bit, though. Let's see, where I already said that. What is that? Oh, I just scared myself with an ant. I'm sorry. Thought it was a spider running across my desk. I was about to scare myself to death because I know spiders are good luck, but they still scare the crap out of me. Yes, Lucas, you're staring at me. What can I do for you? What's what? Oh, okay, go sit down. I love you, but go sit.
No, why he's not home? I got Chuck's not home. Nobody's home here.
Not my problem. All right. So, what dragon magic is not. Dragon magic is not a form of cult or a religion. It's not anything bad, but in fact, it does require a lot of good intentions, okay? Dragon magic does not require you to be of a certain religion. You don't need to hold any certain beliefs, okay? In fact, it's actually found in most cultures without realizing that it's a style of magic. However, it does require that a dragon's approval for success, since it requires the dragons to actually physically help you. So certain things such as living honorably and of course believing in dragons definitely is a requirement, and it's something that's going to only help improve. Dragon magic does not cost any money. You don't require any certain tools. You don't really need anything. There is no sacrifices involved if you do not want. And I say do not want. But no, you don't need to have no blood sacrifices. You don't need to, you know, throw it into a fire and, you know, give it an offering, anything like that. Nor are they going to ever dictate how you should live your life. So that's another big difference between draconic magic and dragon magic. Dragon magic, you can live your life however you so choose. However you so choose. Draconic magic, you are changing your lifestyle, okay? You are literally bringing the chaos of your life out into the open and living a certain style life of, I'm going to do what I want to do for a personal me to be a better me, but I'm going to step on people if I so have to. If I have to push through people to do it, I'm going to push through people to do it. If I have to sacrifice someone as a friend, say, you know, I have to get rid of this certain friend, then that's what I gotta do to be a better me. That's part of draconic magic, guys, okay? It's messed up. It really is. Now, I will say this, because I don't want to put you off to draconic, and I don't want you guys to think of me any differently, because I do practice hardcore draconic magic, because I am balance. Think of it like this. Dragon magic, lighter. Draconic magic, darker. I find the happy medium. I work with both. I blend them both. I make it my own. And they know that. The dragons know that. I don't live the full value way of the draconic lifestyle because it is very secluded. You do have those little bit more, you know, I'll walk all over you. If I need to get to the top, I'm going to do it this way, and you're not going to stand in my way. And if you try and stand in my way, you're going to regret it. That's the strict way of draconic magic. I'm not completely like that. I don't like that. I bust my ass for everything I have, but I do it honorably, okay? So I take best of both worlds and I blend it and I make it my own. So know that you can do that, and the dragons completely accept that, because one, if you're working with dragon magic, you're asking for the help, but if you're working with draconic magic, you're utilizing their energy to do things. So know that you can do both, okay? It's completely acceptable, because one, it's your practice. No one can tell you otherwise. Don't ever let anyone sit there and say, no, if you're following draconic, you can't do dragon magic. Or they're saying, if you're doing dragon magic, you can't do draconic magic. Bullshit. Because I'm proof of that. And we ain't playing that crap of, you know, gatekeeping. We don't do gatekeeping here. You want to blend crap? You blend different, you know, styles of magic. You make it your own, okay? You call yourself whatever the hell you want to call yourself. So always remember that, okay? Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do both, because yes, you can. I was also part of the Temple of the Ascending Flame. I was part of their coven for a while. Amazing author too. Mason is, she's great, just amazing. But I was not comfortable to literally step on people to get to where the level was. So I take her exercises, I take her practices, and I work with them, but I do them with the understanding and the understanding and the belief that this is my practice. I'm not going to be controlled by no one. I'm going to control my own. So always keep that in mind, okay? Monica says, that's my goal, to find a good balance between the two. And you could do it. You know why? Because I do it. And y'all know me. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I will bend over backwards for anyone, but I will get to where I need to get to. I'm not going to take anyone out unless you get in my way to the point of you're trying to sabotage me. Then it's fair game. But I'm never going to purposely, you know, hurt anyone to get to where I need to be to in my life. I'm not that kind of person. So you will find the balance. Be that warrior strong, because that's what it is. It's about being a warrior, because that's the balance in between. Draconic magic, that's straight warrior magic, but so is dragon magic. A lot of dragon magic professions too, that you're going to find a lot of practitioners that are hardcore, and I mean like hardcore, like that's all they work with. A lot of them, you're going to see them in law enforcement, you're going to see them in first responders, you're going to see them hardcore military. Like honestly, there's something about dragon magic that literally you hone, where you gotta feel that lifestyle of, I want to help people, I want to do better, I want to change the world for the better, I want to protect the world, I want to protect the kids, things like that, okay? So you're gonna find that those types of practitioners that are hardcore into dragon magic have that style of profession, that somewhere law enforcement or first responder type of life, okay? And I'm not saying anyone, you know, can't work with dragons. I never will say that. But I'm just saying the ones that are solely dragon magic do pull a lot to those style professions, because they have that, I want to protect, I want to, you know, honor, I want to, you know, that whole motto, you know, lifestyle. I don't, it's hard to explain it, but I know you guys get what I'm saying. So yeah, so like I said, that's how, you know, you can kind of feel like, oh, okay. Now, then of course there's, you know, the nurses, you got your healers, because like I said, every dragon has their own special ability. So you might just be pulling more to the healing dragons, or you might just be pulled more to the woodland or the forest or the earthbound ones, where they prefer to work with the herbs, and they prefer to work with the trees and the barks and grow things. Hey, you got them too, okay? It's just something I just kind of noticed a lot with a lot of the hardcore solely dragon practitioners, is that, you know, Lukey, he can't hear you, baby. He has his headphones on. Yeah, see, Monica? And corrections right here, so I feel you. Ronnie says, I love everything about this. I would never bring someone down unless they are trying to bring me down. Exactly. And that's the balance with Draconic. You just have to be able to find that line and stand your ground on that. So that's a good thing. Austin. Let's see if I can toss something at him real quick. Get his hand. Your brother's calling you. Please go up there because he's being really loud. Thank you. All right. Another thing that dragons are also called guardian spirits or dragon guardians or guides. They make for exceptional allies who can be called on times of need for protection and guidance. Now, I know a lot of people, when they're dragon practitioners, they like to... So you know how you cast a circle and a lot of people say, I call to the guardians of the watchtowers of the east. They have dragon guardians. So dragon practitioners like to say, I call upon the dragon guardians of the east. I call upon the dragon guardians of the south. They are soul guardians. So they use them for protection. They use them for strength. They liked a lot of that. So you're going to see that a lot. You can call them at any time, utilizing within your magic.
He said he has a really bad bellyache.
Okay.
Told him you were on your left.
Okay. So yeah, you can call them at any time if you feel like you're starting to fall, like personally, and you're just, you know, your anger, your rage is kind of like just really messed up. Look up, look to the sky, scream, call for them, you know, ask them why. They're there because every practitioner has a dragon, okay? Every practitioner that has a pull to dragons somehow, or just they can't get them out of their mind, or they buy little knickknacks and never realized, hey, I buy a lot of dragon stuff, or hey, you know, I wear this necklace, which by the way, I got this pretty little necklace here from Sarah Lee. I'll have to show you the little bag that I got from her today. I'm so excited. You know, you call on them to help and work with you. You don't have to sit there and write spells down. Speak. Just speak it to the sky. They're listening. They're probably standing beside you. You know, they might not be there in the physical, but they're literally there in the other plane, in the other dimension. They can hear you. They are connected to you in some form. However, you know, you guys make that connection. Dragon magic, like all dragon or all magic, is made up of the base forms of the main elements that exist. Okay, so elementals, earth, fire, air, water, but in this case also you also have spirit, because the platinum dragons are also the ether dragons, which are the spirit dragons. They are the ones, the bridge, the gatekeepers between the realms. They are the ones that help open things. If you're working with a lot of divination, those are the ones you really want to work with and call on too. When using dragon magic, you are in fact calling forth an element in its dragon form. That was another thing that I always loved when I read my dragon books, because I actually found this in the Dancing with Dragons book, which I totally recommend, and I think I've told you guys that in the dragon one. It's really good. It has some dragon spells in there too. So dragon magic is in the Dancing with the Dragons also. So it's going to not only teach you about dragons, but it's also going to give you some like incantations and some like ways to try and connect with them. So definitely get that book if you don't have it. The Dancing with Dragons by I can't remember. Oh my gosh. DJ Conway. There we go. Oh my word. I was like, I know who wrote this book. I know. See, Monica says the book is awesome. So yeah. So no. If you're utilizing that dragon, you're utilizing it in the dragon form. So it is in fact the element itself. So if you need the fire, if you need the air, if you need the grounding, you know, you just are taking it in a different form. That's it. Okay. Sorry guys, my voice is, I somehow got sick in like 2 days. Oh, okay. Each element in its dragon has certain magical qualities, moods, and purposes. Dragons have positive and negative aspects. Sometimes if you call one dragon and then, you know, say you call an earthbound dragon. The earthbound dragon comes. Know that they might not be willing to want to work with you. You might have to recall a different one. Personalities will clash, especially practices will clash. If you're not very specific on who you're calling, because say you don't have a name yet, which we're going to get into that too. Actually, as soon as this is over. If you don't have a name, you're going to get whatever dragon comes, which isn't always a good thing. That's why you always want to meditate ahead of time. I do have some meditation incantation things that I'm going to post to the group to help you try and find out your personal Monte. And remember, Monte means your dragon guardian. So that way when you call upon your Monte, that it works easier for you. You know who you're calling. If you get Monte's name, remember, that's a secret. That's a bond between you and that dragon, because they don't just give out their name. That's why you just call them dragon majority of the time, or you call them Monte once you realize that they're your actual dragon guardian. Know that it's not something that happens overnight to work with dragon magic. It takes time. It's not going to just show up overnight. Please know that. I found the easiest way to help you adapt to them is working with oracle cards that are dragon based, because yeah, you can read the booklet on the oracle cards, but if you look at the picture, it's how do you feel? What do you see in the picture? What are you getting from the picture? You know, and that's going to help you connect with them on that level, because they want to know if you could understand them. Can you understand them? Do you want to understand them? Or do you just think that they're going to give you all the answers and you don't have to work towards it? Because even in dragon magic, yes, they might be there to aid you, but for the understanding part, it's like they give you kind of a riddle in a way, and you have to figure out the riddle a little. They might give you dreams, because they love astral projection. They love dream work, like absolutely love it, because that's the easiest way for them to show themselves to you. To show themselves in this physical realm is so hard, and it takes up so much energy for them that they can't stay very long. That's why most of the time you'll hear them and not so much see them, because hearing them is easier for them to contribute than it is for them to actually pull their whole entire body into this physical realm. Especially if they're a newer dragon, which, you know, yeah, you might receive an actual hatchling, which is totally cool if you do. I've never had one. I've only heard the amazing stories of actually receiving a hatchling and having that connection with the baby and it raising. As you grow spiritually, it grows. I always found that was so fascinating. I've always wanted that. I was not blessed with one, but don't get me wrong, my Monte, he's actually absolutely amazing. He's mean, but he's absolutely amazing. But I did not get him as a hatchling. He came straight, like, mid-adult in a way, you know, kind of cocky, naive, and looks, you know, down at me sometimes like, told you shouldn't have did it. Why'd you do it? And then I'm just kind of looking at it like, okay, so I shouldn't do that again? Okay, God, I should not do it again. Don't do it again. But if I want to do it again, are you going to be mad at me? I just gotta look like humans. Sorry. You can tell I absolutely love my dragon. You can have more than one. Usually when it comes to your guardian, you do have just one, but you can call upon other ones. If I want to work with ether, I'm definitely going to call upon the platinum style dragons, and I'm going to work with them. Maybe if you're lucky enough and you work with, you know, all the different types of dragons, the shadow dragons, the chaos dragons, the lightning dragons, the thunder dragons, the lava dragons, the fire element dragons, the mountain dragons, you work with one enough, then maybe you can, you know, become more on a personal basis with them, which that, you know, that takes years, but, you know, earn their trust, earn their, you know, be loyal to them, and they'll be loyal to you. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions? Don't mind me, I ramble too. I promise I'm gonna get through all of the informations. There are male and female dragons. When it comes to dragon magic, there's male and female dragons, period. We all know that. It is said that you will find more feminine energy dragons with the elements of fire and air, and you will find more masculine energies with earth and water. However, I disagree wholeheartedly. I almost disagree completely, but it is written in the books. DJ Conway actually says that. I do not completely agree. Yes, honey.
Next wife, can you do Wi-Fi elements?
We've already done the labs on the elements.
No.
Why?
Then why do one with you?
Oh. Little man wants to come say hi. Where's he at? You sure yourself? You gonna say hi? Say hi so I can move on. Okay. Alright. So I don't completely agree with that, but some people do hardly agree. I feel that it's a balance. You have your positive, you have your feminine ones, and you have your masculine ones. So keep that in mind. So dragon magic is also a form of magic reaching the essence within the dragon, wisdom of the dragons. It's like a specialization, so remember that. It's also said that dragon magic is one of the oldest magical workings in the world because it is intertwined within all cultures. Norse, Chinese, Japanese, Celtic, even Egyptian has it. Indian has it. What are the other ones? There's so many different ones. Hey, yo. So yeah, there's different cultures. So I always do think that they are literally one of the oldest types of magic because, you know, think about it. I mean, just think about the old movies back in the day. How many times in different cultures do you see, even Aztecs, same thing, you know? You see dragons in their temples and pyramids and stuff like that. Okay. What is a dragon guide? So, no, we're gonna skip that because we already know what a dragon guide is, right? Someone that helps you within your personal life, a guardian that follows you throughout your life. They're there to guide you, they're there to help teach you, they're there to help, you know, be your best friend is pretty much what it is. You're gonna, like we already established where we're gonna find them. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So, in no way is dragon magic easy or simple. It requires great inner strength and immense patience to walk the path of the dragons. They are part of an energy found around us. However, you are not utilizing their actual energy. You are utilizing them as a whole and a being. You may never see them, but you may eventually feel them and their presence around you. If you are one of the lucky ones, you can then finally actually see them. Know that it takes lots of time and lots of patience. A dragon befriends only those who are deemed worthy and will show themselves if they are sure that they can trust you as a whole. If they cannot trust you, they will not show you. Dragons are long-lived with age, and with that age comes wisdom, patience, and virtue. Dragons are creatures of wisdom and knowledge, and they provide great protection and can lend great power when needed, okay? I'm not gonna sugarcoat this part here. When I say power, I mean power. I mean, like, you know, the yin and the yang. I mean, you know, life force energy. I mean power. I mean, like, they can destroy things. Power, okay? So I'm not sugarcoating it, say, like, oh, just power, you know, it's just powerful. No, I'm not sugarcoating. They can make some shit happen. They could also take some shit away, okay? So I mean power in its actual truest meaning, power. If you take the time to forge a friendship with the dragons, they can become the best companions you will ever want. All right, so connecting with dragons in draconic and dragon magic, okay? Beware and know that not everyone is going to be able to work with dragon magic, okay? Before you consider working with dragons, Take some time to look at yourself. Do you like dragons for who they are, or are you just interested in the power? Think carefully of why you want to seek working with the dragons. To reach a dragon, you first need to set aside the science and believe in your heart and mind that the essence of dragons is actually out there, that they are real and they are very much living, breathing creatures. You need to learn to connect and reach to them. If you do not really believe in it and you just think maybe it's a cool idea, why are you even trying? Once you actually embark on this magical path, guys, okay, you're going to find that you changed yourself without actually changing yourself. You adapted to their thoughts without actually changing your own thoughts. You're learning to seek a new light in your own life, all right? But you're looking through you're looking through a new set of eyes, okay? So they're not personally wanting to change your view on things, but they're helping you see a better way of seeing the view that you need to see, okay? The relationship of a seeker to the dragons is similar to that to a teacher and a student. They teach and strengthen you so you may wield greater power with greater wisdom. They are vast and timeless, wise beyond our imagination, and are definitely our wildest dreams. We have to learn to listen, okay? You can't just close your eyes and go, I want to see the dragon, I want to see the dragon, I want to see the dragon. And open your eyes and bam, it's going to be there. Because that's not how that shit works. Be wary with what work you want to do with them. Dragons will not work with silly things like love spells or any type of sorts. Dragons prefer to work with protection and healing magic. They will work with curses if you're calling upon the right one. They will work with necromancy if you're calling upon the right ones. Like I said, chaos dragons and the darker shadow dragons, they are the ones you want to work with darker style magic because they are there. But majority of the people who don't tamper with draconic magic are going to work more on the healing side of things and the protection side of things, and that's perfectly acceptable because that is what majority of them prefer to do anyways, because that is how they initially were raised, created, they were taught by their elders. It's the same. Does anyone have any questions before we move on? Rebecca says, it took many tries before I met my guide. Same. It actually took me almost a whole year to actually be able to connect properly with them. I would see so many different other style dragons, especially when you enter their realm to look for them, see which one calls to you. I swear it was like, I thought, oh, this one must be mine. And then I realized they weren't. And then I try again, and then I got a different one. And then I'm like, oh, this one must be mine. It wasn't. Took forever. And Monte just really is... He's just mean. He made me wait a long time, now that I really keep thinking about it. But it was justifiable. He had his reasons, I had my reasons. You know, I wasn't fully confident in anything. So know that it can take months, it can take weeks, it can take days. You know, it's just all on your connection. You know, what are you doing to try and make that connection with them, to be able to work with them in the magic that they possess and have the ability to control? Okay? Alright, to call a companion. So you cannot actually force a dragon to befriend you, nor can you choose what your companion will look like or what their personality will be. Like I said, you know, it would have been really cool to have that, like, motherly type of, you know, dragon, guardian. However, I got more of the strict daddy, you know, dragon that kind of looks at you like, you can do better. I raised you to do better. I taught you to do better. You know, sometimes you get the one that you really don't want because there's a reason, like there's a purpose that you got that type of guide. And you know, how he works with me within my magic is absolutely amazing. You know, he strengthens my spells. You know, we'll get into that another time. So anyway, we did a lot. So here's how another way to tell that if you would be good at working with dragon magic is something as simple as this. So if you have been interested in dragons for a while and have collected some dragon images, maybe some toys, some statues, maybe there's some blankets, some figurines, there's a good possibility, a good chance that you already have a dragon or two hanging out in your room or in your house. Cheers. So that's always kind of a nifty thing to think about. All right, so give me some questions, guys. I need questions. Questions. Oh, it's okay, Sarah Lee. We are going to do... I'm going to post this. I have some, a call to the dragon. I have a long-term protection with the dragons. I have asking a dragon for protection spell here. I have a water dragon protection spell. I have a casting instructions for summoning a dragon. Remember, it might say summoning, but you're not actually summoning. You're asking for their assistance. I do have one for inviting a dragon companion, which is the basic one. So, want to do it? Do we want to sit there right now? And I know a lot of you will probably have to like watch this part again to actually be able to get this happy part, but yeah, I think we're gonna do this meditation call to inviting a dragon companion right now, as soon as I answer these questions. Okay, so Monica says, silly random question, but do dragons ever tease or play with pets? All the time. Especially if you have a younger style dragon, they will actually act like another animal. And they'll want to like play with them and chase them. You'd be surprised, sometimes my cats will just randomly start running like away from each other for no reason. And you just kind of like sit there and like, what was that about? And then I start thinking about it and I'm like, really, Monte? Like, is that really what we're doing? Other times I'll see my dogs just start barking randomly, and he'll be looking in an upward direction, not like a straight direction like he was barking at like maybe Draga or Loki, but Kong will just start randomly barking in an upward direction. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a spirit. He must be barking at spirit. That's possible. However, I already know what's in my house and when it's in my house. Like when Monte actually is here, I know. I can feel it. It's a feel thing, but I can also hear him. He's not very subtle. But I can always tell though because Kong senses him like right off the rip. So definitely, animals could definitely tell, and they do like messing with the other animals. They have to prove, especially the younger ones, that their dominance a little bit, that they are alpha in a way. So yeah, definitely. But I will say Monte really likes my cats, at least mine. Alright, sneeze. Okay, so I thought I had a sneeze, but I didn't have to sneeze. Ronnie says, maybe this is what I needed to hear. I always love the dragons. And honestly, it's really great to try and work with them too. Like, dragon magic is amazing. And it's not a sole thing where, like, you have to have a figurine there, you have to have this. You just have to know that by asking for the dragons to help you with something, that is magic itself. That is, you're utilizing a co-magician, okay? That's why they're also called, which the book is called too, Dancing with Dragons. Dancing with Dragons is actually referring to co-magician. They are assisting you. It's kind of like, think of a lot of witches during Sabbaths and stuff, like to dance around a fire. Not naked, guys. But I mean like pretty little dresses and stuff and dance around the fire and have a good time. Think of replacing all the other members of that ritual with a dragon, and you're all working this together, and you're all, you know, trying to make this ritual more powerful. You're dancing with the dragons. They're your co-magician. They are your co-assistants. If that makes any sense. In my head, it makes more sense. I don't think it's coming out right. So tell me, correct me if I'm saying this incorrectly. Can you list more dragons to work with for necromancy or spirit work? Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me grab them for you. Where'd I put my dragons at? Give me 1 sec, Dina. I'm gonna pull them out for you. This will help. Hold on, I got you. So, platinum dragons, okay, which we established. Moon dragons, like Luna is an actual dragon name. She is the ruler of the actual, like, we'll say moons in all forms, full moons, okay? But because she likes to sway the tide, she likes to tamper with the fitting of the veils as well. So, the moon dragons. Then you have, let me find him. Where did you go? Yes, dragons.
Are those all the dragons that even existed?
These are some of them.
That one was flipped over.
Emergence, yes. That's okay if they're flipped over. I'm just helping Gina real quick. I gotta pull out the other ones. I want to give you the proper title for them, so I'm forgetting the names because it's, you know, you put me on the spot. There we go. Ooh, ringing in the right ear. I've been doing that a lot lately. Okay, so, let's see if I say this right. Galaxy, but it's Galactia dragons, which they are realm based, they are galaxy based, they are really good with, like, spiritual, but not necromancy. Shadow dragons are fantastic for necromancy. Chaos dragons are amazing for necromancy. Hold on, there's another one. Oh, come on, Crystal. It's an so apparent one too. Sea dragons. There we go. Sea dragons are really good with necromancy because most of the lore of the sea dragons are going with Leviathan, shadow dragon, dark dragon. Even Tiamat, who's a water dragon, but she's a chaos dragon. So any type of chaos dragons, not water, but sea dragons are really good with necromancy also because they also consider it, you know, like life, you know, giving birth and stuff. So yeah, those ones are really good with necromancy. Honestly though, I would stay away from Grandmaster dragons, because Grandmaster dragons they're like the overseers. So if you're looking at rank, you have the king and queen, right? Which is the red dragoness and then the dragon god. Then you have your next hierarchy. They're, you know, oh my gosh, come on, don't go crazy on me. The Grandmasters. They're the Grandmasters, okay? And they're just kind of like, they watch out. They're like the lords and the ladies in a way. And then you have your other branches, which are like the Chaos Dragons, the Shadow Dragons. But the Galactia, like I said, they're really good for spirit, but not good for necromancy. The sea/ocean ones are fantastic to work with necromancy. And I know it sounds a little weird, but if you look at all the lures and stuff, I'm telling you, you want them style of dragons because they go hand in hand with chaos. They go hand in hand with death. They go hand in hand with shadow. So yeah, definitely look into those kind of dragons too. Dragon Guardians, you don't want them at all. That would be like a no-go. I'm gonna write a list for you guys too on the different gosh. Groups of dragons. There we go. I know I have another one that I wrote everything down because I was like, oh, they're probably going to want to know this. And then I just lost it somewhere. I'm so mad. Watch me find it after the live too. Does that help a little bit, Gina? That's funny, Sarah Lee. Okay, so what are the questions? Questions. What else do we got? So like I said, you got all different styles of dragons too. You have literally every element, and I mean like not just the basic element. I mean, you're looking at like lightning. You're looking at sky dragons. You're looking at no thanks, baby. Lava dragons. They are literally like, they're so chill, but they're so destructive. What is another good one? I'm really digging into this really deep. There's so many more healer dragons and like earthbound dragons.
No.
Hey, no video games right now. If that's what you're trying to do, I'd prefer you not to.
Come here. No. Come here. No.
Just trying to see if I forget one. You have star dragons also. They run with the galaxy, the Galactias. They're amazing. But platinum. Now, there is one style of dragon that I've never seen. I read so much about it because there's this one dragon witch that she's amazing. Her name's Carolyn, the original dragon lady, she calls herself. She is over from the UK. She is amazing. She actually created this whole deck, okay? But she has a YouTube channel, Caroline the Dragon Lady. She talks about rainbow dragons. I said that correctly. Rainbow dragons. I don't understand them. I've never actually tried to figure them out. I've never seen them, and I don't know where they fit in with a lot of things. I actually have a deck, where did I put that deck? That has them in it. Never understood it whatsoever. I'm short. Found it. Eee, look who that is. That's my Loki's son. Okay. See if I can find it. Oh, I'm ripping my stuff. What the beep? Oh no, I didn't. It just came out. It's in this one too, which they're friends actually. The creator of these are actually friends. Diana Cooper and Carolyn Mitchell are actually like hardcore friends. But this deck is so hard, and if you again, you can resonate with these too. They have Atlantean dragons, which are probably, I'd say, one of the older ones. They fall within that. I'm trying to find... Oh, solar dragons. I can't believe I forgot about them. Oh, they're gonna kick my ass. We already said about star dragons, water dragons, and fire dragons. No, also that there are hybrid dragons out there. They're where the dragons then blend with the energy of humans, where, you know, it's kind of like they were, when their souls die, they were born into a human. So that's where it's a hybrid. It's not that a dragon mated with a human. No. It's that where the energy was depleted from the dragon and it decided to be reincarnated into a human. However, the human soul is there too. So it's like a blend. It's a hybrid. And those are the ones that literally you only see them work with dragon magic. They can't work with any other type of magic because that's all they have. What are you doing? What? What happened?
I don't know.
Lie to me one time.
I'm not lying.
What happened?
You had the battery packs.
What did you do? I can't hear you with your...
my tongue.
Oh my god. Kids. I wish you guys were back in school so I can have a vacation. I'm trying to find that rainbow one, guys. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. So, I mean, this one is a rainbow dragon, brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, accept opportunities. There are, like I said, them called rainbow dragons. I don't understand anything with rainbow dragons at all. But they are there. And Carolyn actually talks about them too. She has a YouTube video, guys. I recommend them wholeheartedly to watch her if you're interested in it. I could post her thing in the group. I was trying to see if there was a different, if I forgot. Oh, there's a yin and yang style where it's a positive and negative. It's kind of like a bipolar dragon. Their energies are always fighting each other. I think I said them all. Yeah. There's crystal dragons too. That was another one I did forget. There's crystal dragons. They're, you know, the ones that are known for hoarding treasures, just so you know. But they're considered crystal dragons. Or gemstone dragons, or we could always call them fancy rock dragons if you want to. There's those. Let's go to this back. All right, let me get caught up on here because I'm getting behind. I see. Are there elemental dragons? Elemental as an element? Because definitely, yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah, Sarah Lee. Definitely there's storm dragons. Like I said, every element that you can think of besides the basic fire, earth, wind, water, spirit, aside from those, literally think of every other element and it is straight a dragon for it. Like that dragon controls it. It controls storms. It controls thunder, lightning. Yes, all three separate, even though they kind of all blend together. You literally have every style. You have mountain dragons. You know, they prefer rocks. They don't deal with any type of forest or anything. So, yes, they're earthbound, but they're mountain dragons. Then you have volcanic dragons, but you also have lava dragons. They literally just live within the lava. Like, they don't prefer to come out any other time. They're chill, you know, but they're there. Then you have light dragons. You have dark dragons. Yes. You have shadow dragons, chaos dragons. You have sea dragons. You have river dragons. Literally every freaking element you could think of, there's a dragon for it. Like, no lie. Even up in space, you know, because that's considered another dimension. How they depict it when it comes to Galactus dragons. They're, you know, there's planet dragons. You know, they live on other planets. Yo, shut up! Come on. I asked nicely before I started if you guys would not fight for once. No one's playing anything down here. Just put it up. And no one's playing anything upstairs either right now until I'm done. Because obviously you guys can't play nicely. I don't want to hear it. Just please stop. Listen, I don't feel good. Please stop. Please. Please. Let's see. Is it common to be called by a dragon of an element you are not drawn to? Yes. Ooh, beautiful. I love that you brought this up. So, this is a fun one. So, if you are starting to work with dragons, or you have been working with dragons, and you realize that, say, the water dragons are calling you, okay? And you're like, I'm not a water person. I'm not drawn to the water. I actually disconnected a little bit. That's the problem. Sometimes it's because it's when you're not drawn to, it's because you are disconnected from that element in your life. And I mean it as in, you know, the spiritual side. So water is a great emotion based, right? It means that, you know, you're not connected to your emotions, or you're disconnected in some form. You're disconnecting yourself. They're there to kind of give you that guidance of, hey, you might want to work on this. You know, you might want to take a look into this style of element, because you're not balanced in your life. You need to rebalance. The other three are balanced, but this one it's off balance. And because it's off balance, it's teetering your world. So most of the time, a good chunk of the time, if you see a different element and you are not 100% connected to it, like, you know, like, okay, it's probably because you have an imbalance if it's one of the basic elements. Now, if you're talking like you see a thunder dragon, that could be a sign. That can, you know, that's something you want to meditate on. There could be something going on that element in some form is trying to get a hold of you, because they don't just come to come. There's always a reason that they show themselves. There's always a reason that they want you to, you know, get a hold of them, or that they're getting a hold of you. So they want you to be more attentive and say, hey, listen, look at me, look at me. Gina says, I have dreamt of a dragon that was decaying like a corpse. What kind of dragon is that? Ooh. So there is this one, and I've actually been reading on it I swear, if these two are fighting right now, me and them are going to have it out. Sit down. You're actually looking at what you would consider the bone dragon. Okay? So the bone dragon is not an actual bone. Like, you don't look at the bones of it. You're actually looking at the form of death going into rebirth, because it's not completely decayed, and it's not going to completely decay because it's always going to rebirth itself. So it's kind of like the death card in a way. It's a rebirth type of thing. So I'm going to tell you right now, he's called the Skull Dragon. Look into him. He's freaking amazing. He works, his whole world is like the underworld style, okay? But it's very similar to how the death card is, just so you know. So the fact that you work with necromancy, that does not surprise me in any shape or form. I'm also going to say I would actually look also into seeing if you have a connection with, hold on, make sure I'm saying this right. Not chaos. Transformation dragons. So they're the ones that actually can change into a physical human, but they go hand in hand with life and death. It's kind of like a Grim Reaper. They're the transfiguration dragons, okay? And they literally look like your standardized black dragon, okay? But when they do their transfiguration, they usually are said, per lore, and this is from Norse mythology too. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh my God, freaking Celtic mythology, that they are then turned into be what we would call like the Reaper, but the bringer of death in a form. So look into them, but they're all black dragon. Transfiguration dragon is that one. But the one that you're referring to is the Skull Dragon. And like I said, he's very similar to like how the death card is. He's the rebirth, because he's never technically going to be to full bone, but he's never going to be a full dragon either. He's always going to be in that like that middle, that, what do they call that? Oh, not abyss. I'll think of it. But he just can't, he's always stuck in the middle. Like he'll never go all the way to death, and he'll never be completely reborn. So that's pretty cool. It's been a minute since I've actually thought of him, but that's really cool. So I always rewatch and they tell you their name. You don't name them. Am I right? Correct. You never give them a name. Monte is the only general thing besides calling them dragon. But they have their own name. They're like us. They were born with their own name. They gave themselves their name. So you can never name them. Yes. Yo, you gotta show me that Loki Oracle deck. Because I need that. And that's gonna be mine. Yeah, he bit his tongue. Probably because he was... They're always fighting. Yeah, definitely check into that. And then look into... This deck helps if you are looking into the rainbow dragons. Because this is where I initially first saw them. But then, like I said, the witch that made this has like, I think, a whole entire YouTube video about rainbow dragons. So definitely look into that. Excuse me. Oh, that's okay, Serenity. Yes, Gino, that's exactly like that. I was sitting here, I was like, why can't I remember this? What, Lucas?
What does a purple dragon have? What kind of powers does a purple dragon have?
Purple dragons are more actual ether and spirit dragons. They're more of like the goddess kind of value of things.
What's what take our house? Wait, what kind of dragon take our house?
Our house or each other?
Wait.
Because our house is my Monte, but each other is Gravestone and Jade. Jade is... Where is Jade?
Yeah, why is not Jade?
There's Brimstone.
Oh, Jade.
Oh, there she is. She's right down there. Okay. So I'm going to do this little inviting of the dragon. I'm going to need you to be quiet, though, this time. Please. So... if you're able to, at this time, I want you to close your eyes. Okay? I want you to clear everything away from you. Literally. Make your mind turn into a black or light or silver type of zone. But you don't want to see nothing. You don't want to think of nothing. You don't want to hear nothing except for this. Imagine the stress and worry flowing out of you through the floor, seeping into the ground, and releasing to the outside. Once you feel that it has drained out of your body, imagine a protective bubble forming around you, your shield. You might not be able to see the bubble, especially if it's your first time actually utilizing it. But know that you have something there around you protecting you at all times. Next, invite a dragon to be your companion. Mentally project the desire to contact and make friends with a dragon. Speak it, think it, feel it, whichever is more comfortable for you. Remember, continue to keep the blank surrounding abyss around you, whether it's black, white, silver. You see nothing. You're sitting in nothing. Be confident, but don't actually shout your intentions. If you can't figure out something to say, say this. I am your name. I walk the path of dragons in love, trust, and friendship. I invite you into my life and into my home. Repeat again. I am your name. I walk the path of dragons in love, trust, and friendship. I invite you into my life and into my home. If you need to add something, add something. Speak to them. Ask them. Speak your intentions. What do you want them to help you with? Do you want them to help you to be a better you? Do you want them to help you with your healing abilities? Do you want them to teach you anything they're willing to teach you? Speak. Do you just want them to assist you in your magic? What do you want from them? Now, stand up. And as you're actually walking into nothing, your view will change. As your view changes, look out over a cliff. At first, you will see nothing beyond the cliff. Nothing. Get to the edge. Get rid of the fear. You're not gonna fall. Take one step in front of you off the cliff, and a stairwell will appear the moment you actually take that step. Now walk. And as you walk, watch a new world open up in front of your eyes. To the right, you'll see this beautiful forest. To the front of you, you're gonna see mountains as high as you can see, where they touch the clouds. To the left, you'll see an ocean, as far as the eye will allow you to see. The waves just crashing upon themselves. Further back, past the mountains, you see a puff of smoke. Is that a volcano? Look around. What do you see? Do you see shadows? Do you see a storm brewing? As you're walking, you will now come to an actual we'll say gate. And when you actually open this gate, whether the gate is made out of wood, steel, iron, the moment you open that gate, someone is waiting for you. That someone has an appearance of a dragon. What color is he or she? What does he or she look like? Does he stand proud? Does he have wings? Does he mimic of a serpent? Does he have scales? What color is his eyes or her eyes? Is she looking right at you? Does she bow her head, or do you bow your head? What do you see? How do you feel? Say hello. Introduce yourself. Don't be afraid. He or she might not speak until you introduce yourself first. After all, you have entered their realm. Now it's time to go. Bow your head. Thank them for their presence. Ask them if you may return at a later time, or if they would grace you with their presence. After you are done, sit down, pass the gate, close your eyes, and re-envision where you are, where you need to be, and where you once were from the beginning of all this. Were you on your couch? In your bedroom? In the kitchen? In your living room? Picture that place. And then slowly open your eyes. Allow yourself to adjust. How do you feel? What did you see? Who did you speak with? Now, granted, I know you will not actually have a name. Unless you already know your guardian, then that's different. So what did you see? What companion actually showed themselves to you first? Now, keep this in mind that companions might just be a one-time deal, but what did you actually see and who did you actually talk to? But I will also post these other types of protections for you to, try if you want. Just for fun. So, questions? Anyone have questions? What, Lucas? I hope my messages are working, just in case. Watch them just stop working right in the middle, because that would be my luck. Okay, well, if no one has any questions, I don't see any questions come up. So, if you do and you're watching the replay and you have a question, please make sure you go ahead and ask it. I'll definitely get back to you. There's a couple things I'm gonna post. Ooh, deep cleaning fridge. Ugh, it's one of my worst things to do. I lied. Doing laundry. No, I lied. Putting my laundry away is the worst thing I ever have to do. 'Cause there's so much of it. But let me know if anyone has any questions. I will post a few things to assist with dragon magic. But remember, if you know the dragons and try and connect with the dragons, it is magic. It's not like, green witchcraft. It's not like tea magic where you have to use stuff. It's not. You have to connect with them. Ask them. To go through more on dragons, I would definitely go back and watch my dragon magic, about colors and maybe some crystals. Remember, they love gold, not pyrite, not fool's gold, but actual gold. But they love crystals. So any type of crystals in a bowl, put a dragon figurine next to it. It's very precious to them because it's their treasure. Kathy says, "Oh my God, it's been a while since it's been done, especially people who don't like to clean up." Oh, yeah, I know my kids are like that. Yeah, I always have spills everywhere. Monica says, "This was awesome. Thank you. Can't wait to try the meditation later on when I get a quiet moment." I have a couple other meditations. Remember, I only find really good meditations that I recommend. I'm going to put another one on. I knew I was going to have problems with my voice today, but there's a few meditations I want to put on that's dragon magic related. So I'm definitely going to put those on the group. Just give me some time. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I didn't realize I didn't eat all day. But there's a couple of things. Please ask. Dancing with Dragons is an amazing book to help you with dragon magic. All of DJ Conway's books are fantastic. Just honestly, learning about dragons is going to be your magic. Because once you figure them out, asking them for assistance in your workings, it's literally just asking for, another witch to help you. Like, hey, let's do this spell together. If I was going to Kathy and I'd be like, hey, Kathy, hey, yeah, how about we, can we do this together? Let's do the spell together. You know, let's do a sour jar together. Or let's do Reiki together. You see where I'm coming from? Like, we're doing things together. It's the same thing with just, yeah, I'm in my solitary practice, but I'm just asking the dragon to be my second. You know, like, we're working together. You know, he's protecting, you know, the circle that I created, or he's making sure that I focus all my attention on, you know, what this spell is related to. You know, he might even go, hey, maybe you might want to use a little bit of wormwood instead of, you know, hemlock. Or maybe you might want to use a little bit of calamus instead of cherry bark. You know, and all of a sudden you'll just get that initial, like, you know, maybe I should use some of this. And then you have no idea really what it came from, because your initial recipe said you needed, you know, hemlock. But all of a sudden you just get this weird feeling like, hey, I really should probably use some wormwood instead. It's coming from that co-magician. Like, literally, yeah, like your right-hand man. Exactly. I was washing my hair for work. No worries. That's why I said I know it's really early, and I usually catch you guys like late at night when I do like meditations. But I still wanted to do the meditation to give you a little bit. But I'm going to post a couple more from trusted sources that I have done myself and gotten great results from also. I love low frequency things, but there's a couple higher frequencies. So if you know, attune better to higher frequencies, I got you. If you tune to lower frequencies, like I'm all up in the low ohms right now, frequencies. Definitely Buddhist style. I can't help it. I'm in love with it. But I'll post those for you too. You'd be surprised. I'll post a bunch of stuff for you guys because I love you guys that much. All right, so I'm gonna head off here. I've been on here for a minute, and I didn't realize how long it's really been since I've been on. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I got you. And then next time you guys see me on a live, if it's not for Witches Owl Exchange, of course, it's gonna be for Draconic Magic. So I hope you guys are ready. And that one's gonna be a tough one. So, yeah. That one's gonna be hard. But I got this. I got this. I'm going to try to go back to basics and not with the level I'm at. So, I got you. All right. So, y'all have a great rest of the day, morning, afternoon, night. I love you all. Blessed be, sisters. I'll see you later.